Hey everyone, I am here with Dave Meyer, one of my favorite people at Atlassian, also the co-founder, or is it just straight founder? Do you want to take all the credit or half the credit?
I was going to say,
Full credit?
founder, favorite people at Atlassian. I'm questioning that claim.
I'll say top 5, but we're with one of the creators of the team managed projects, which you all know, if you've ever seen the Jira Live, we don't talk about team managed projects, so I'm sorry, Dave.
You don't talk about your favorite feature? I can't believe it, Alex.
I was telling you earlier in the week, I have a harder and harder time, especially with the new features you guys are dropping, to not go down the team managed project route. Like, I feel you're gonna have to at some point. And I'm not necessarily mad.
You're not the first customer who's told me that this week.
Yeah, I mean, just with the keynote announcement that you made, right, where any work type, however you want, wherever you want, you can only do it in team managed projects. You're not gonna be able to do that in company managed projects.
But I think we're also making a lot of investments. You haven't heard as much about that at this team, but I think by next team you're going to hear some big announcements from us about how for larger organizations that have struggled to scale team managed projects because of some of the drawbacks, some of the limitations. We're really focused on addressing those limitations. We think that there's a big role for them to play in organizations, but we know we got to fix some stuff to make that possible. So you heard it here first. We're committed to fixing it.
Yeah, like I said, the last 6 months I've had a harder and harder time not being able to recommend it. It's gonna make sense the most, especially with all the involvement of Rovo and any customizations there.
We'll keep working.
Yeah, we'll keep working. But keynote, I'm assuming certain things didn't make it, and I wanted to give you a little spotlight here. What are some of the exciting things that your team has maybe delivered recently, or will be delivered very, very soon that you're allowed to talk about that maybe didn't get all the screen time that we would have liked?
Yeah, sure. Let's talk about our my favorite people, Jira admins.
Yeah.
So we are launching a bunch of. We talked a lot about Rovo skills
Yes, we did.
In the keynote. There's a couple skills that are coming specifically for our Jira admins. So. The first one is a workflow building skill. So you'll be able to create a workflow with Rovo.
Which again, it has to be team managed.
No, that's actually coming to.
It can though. What happens if your agent renames the status?
This is true across basically everything Rovo does. Rovo's never going to do something without your consent.
It's
actually really built into the new workflow editor experience. So you can either start it from chat or from in the workflow editor, and you'll click the edit with Rovo button, and that'll basically allow you to work with Rovo, and Rovo can add statuses, it can add transitions, it can even implement workflow rules. And then publish the workflow. But when you say publish the workflow, it'll say, do you want me to publish the workflow? And then you can click yes.
Right.
But one of the other challenges is just Jira has a lot to configure, and there's a lot to do for an admin. And when we talk to admins, they spend just as much time reading the docs, going through community posts about what's the best way to do this, or even to go to this page and then this page and then this page. And so we're building a general kind of admin I don't want to say co-pilot,
right, but
an admin helper Rovo agent that's going to basically be your partner, so that you don't have to spend as much time reading through the docs. We'll bring the docs to you, and we'll customize them to exactly what you want to do. So you say, I want to go add a field to this project. We will give you kind of step-by-step instructions right there in line. Yeah. And then the last one is permissions. So we know that admins spend a lot of time resolving permissions issues, and so there's an old permission helper feature. That's something we can do a lot better with Rovo. So Rovo will help you diagnose permissions issues, and then take quick actions to resolve them without having to even fiddle with all of the permission schemes.
Yeah, because those permission schemes can get a little dicey at times.
Another one that I'm really excited about is for our large enterprise customers. Frequently, they're bringing on a lot of users, and for those types of instances, the configuration. Not even the configuration, but the way you use Jira in a big organization can be pretty specialized or unique to the organization. So just saying, oh, I'm a new Jira user, I'm going to go read the Jira documentation isn't going to help you understand how we specifically use Jira for the program delivery team at my enterprise organization. And so we built a new feature called custom onboarding, and it'll allow an administrator to basically create their own welcome experience that's built into Jira for new users. So when a new user comes into Jira for the first time, they say their role, and you can create different onboardings for different roles within Jira with links, Confluence pages, step-by-step instructions. Hey, read this page, then watch this YouTube video, watch this Loom video, and it's all wrapped into a really nice kind of welcome modal experience. It looks really nice.
I think that's really good, because a lot of feedback that I get from customers all the time is, especially me as a content creator, they're like, Alex, is there like a way I can get my team onboarded as quick as humanly possible without spending weeks, months, right, just getting them onboarded? And there's so many nuances to Jira that you really can't learn Jira over a lunch.
Yeah.
But it's interesting if you can at least step in the right direction.
Yeah, and the last one I'm really excited about is we've made huge investments in the what's called the All Work tab today in Jira,
which is gone now.
So what we're doing is we only want you to have one list of issues.
Right. I always wondered whether it was two that are very similar.
Exactly. So we're bringing those experiences together. So the one so All Work will become the new list.
Yeah,
we're making
my Jira got it already.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll be rolling that out to all customers over the next couple months. And I'm really excited for the improvements that are there.
So I gotta ask. In that All Work list view, you now hierarchy your work. The number on the bottom is misleading. Was that intentional? Because when I show all my bugs, if there's any bugs that are nested underneath some epics, they won't. The count is at the top of the hierarchy, and so anything on the bottom won't show unless I intentionally turn off the hierarchy view. Then I get all my work. I just felt like all work, but not seeing all your work was a little misleading.
That's good feedback. I can take that one back to the team and see how we can solve it.
It was just really interesting. It was an observation where I'm like, wait.
No, that's fair.
Because I was on a call with like a CTO, and I'm like, you only have this many work items. And I'm like, wait, there should be more. And it took me a while to find out that the nesting.
I'm pretty sure there's an expand all.
No, there is, but it still won't expand the number. You can expand the trees, but it won't inflate the number. That's unless you turn off.
Well, like I said, we haven't rolled it out to everybody yet, so there's room for
improvement.
You
heard it here first, bro. This is how we get Jira updated. Speaking of updates, one real quick thing that I also wanted to ask in the keynote, something that did make it in there, was we no longer have projects. We're going to spaces. What was some of the design there, the thought process, the inspiration for making this fundamental shift?
Yeah, a couple different reasons. First and foremost, Jira is part of the Teamwork Collection. We want to make sure that as more and more of our customers are adopting Jira, Confluence, and Loom together, they have consistency of experiences across that. Confluence and Loom already have spaces. That's 2 votes against 1. So I'm just kidding.
It makes perfect sense to me.
But yeah, we really wanted to have a kind of consistency. In each of those cases, a Loom space contains videos, a Confluence space contains pages and live docs and whiteboards and databases. A Jira space contains work items. They're each a container for a piece of content. And which kind of brings me to reason number 2. What is a space in Jira? A project. It's just a container for work items with configuration and ownership attached to it. But when we think about what is a project has somebody responsible for it, hopefully an objective to achieve, and an end date, a due date, and a status of how is it going.
And the number of times I've had to explain to people the difference between a Jira project and a PM project, I mean, I'd be a millionaire right now.
and we know that the way that most of the time, certainly not all the time, but the vast majority of Jira projects out there are actually, it's a collection of the work that a single team is doing, or maybe multiple teams, but it's usually it's kind of a long-lived, ongoing container of work that a team is doing, and that might be working across multiple projects. Maybe those projects are represented as epics today in Jira, but by using the word space, it's a little bit more clear that most of the time it's just an organizer of work items. And I think what makes me most excited is that it sets us up to do more real project management capabilities in Jira in the future. And it's really hard for us to build project management capabilities when there's a thing already called projects in Jira that's not actually a project.
So I'm going to ask you a question. Blink once for yes, blink twice for no. We will keep it off the record, kind of. But you already kind of alluded to it, right? Spaces are in Confluence, spaces are in Loom. Jira now has spaces. Do we see a convergence, a synergy, like bigger picture here, maybe 2-3 years down the road?
I would take that in two levels. Certainly, we're.
And again, you can blink if you don't want to answer.
No, I think there's a role to play for each one of the apps in the teamwork collection. On the other hand, we certainly want to blur the lines as much as possible, so it doesn't feel like, oh, okay, if I want to do this, I need to go to Loom. If I want to do this, I want to go to Confluence. So that's, it's the same philosophy that drives like, oh yeah, you should be able to create a Loom video directly from a Confluence whiteboard or directly from a Jira work item. So you shouldn't have to go to Loom to create it.
And then maybe hopefully in the future, again, product ideas for the product team here. Shared permissions, if you got access to one space and they're linked.
Right.
Because I have to go to 3 different places
so
to do that.
The way that this, one of the small ways that this manifests that's already live today is that in your Jira space, in your Confluence space, we've built an explicit linking to your team. So if you look at in the header, there's a little icon, and you can link a Atlassian team to your space. And that way, one thing that does is that helps enrich the teamwork graph, because now we know, okay, this space is for the project's Blueberry team, right?
And Strawberry is what you guys like.
The Strawberry team. Okay, so Team Strawberry owns this Jira space, this Confluence space, so that way when I go to Rovo and I say, hey, what's the Strawberry team working on, it knows to look in that Jira space and in that Confluence space, and can produce much more accurate responses.
So I'll tell you, I was very excited when I saw verified teams, because one of the reasons why I don't recommend teams to people right now is because anyone can delete a team.
Yeah.
And maybe product feedback is any chances we can get that updated so teams just don't go rogue one day and missing on us?
We're making a lot of investments in enterprise readiness for teams. So verified teams.
People need it too.
Well, I said enterprise readiness. But
not necessarily enterprise subscribers.
Yes, okay. Exactly. Teams does not have an enterprise edition. Yeah. Teams comes with everything. We're not that smart. Maybe someday, but but like we also are introducing support for HRIS integration with Teams, so that you can sync your teams with your directory groups and Workday or your identity provider, as well as permissions on who can modify a team. So there's a lot of work that's going into making Teams truly an enterprise-grade feature.
Yeah. Well, Dave, I know I can talk to you for another hour, and I want to keep it brief. So thank you so much for all of this. Any last final words or thoughts? Any major things that you want to let the world know?
We're really grateful for every single customer who chooses to use Jira. We don't take the privilege of being responsible for Jira lightly, and whatever changes we make today or make in the future, we really are trying to think about what can we do to serve all of our customers as best we can.
This is especially true as we move things around the UI. Right?
Especially as we move things around in the user interface. Buttons, icons, you name it, we do apply a standard of care, but we can always improve, and I hope to continue to raise the bar for how we build Jira and how we communicate change to our customers.
One thing that Mike resonated with me when I asked him a similar question, he told me when we make product decisions, we have 300,000 customers, but we also have the next 300,000 customers we vastly care about as well.
Yeah, exactly, and I'm very sympathetic that, hey, that's Atlassian's job, and to get the next 300,000 customers. So I sympathize with the customer perspective. We just need to do both at
Yeah, and
same
it's, but
time
it's hard. It's hard.
and treat our existing customers well too. So
Yeah,
we try to
exactly.
balance those two
Yeah.
things.
Well, thank you so much, Dave.
Of course. Thank you.
A quick shout out to ServiceRocket and the crew member program built for Atlassian Certified freelancers. If you ever wanted access to bigger projects but run into roadblocks like compliance or audits, this program helps bridge that gap. You'll get to work on the big projects, grow your skills through certification support, and join a community of like-minded experts. If this sounds like a win for you, look into our description for the link.